hot dog, hot diggity dog. There it is, the announcement we've been waiting for. Florida Gators announced Buster Faulkner. I'm about to bust her wide open. They have announced that he is finally, officially, all in good. The graphic has been posted. The offensive coordinator for the Florida Gators. Now, it's kind of funny because a week ago, we posted kind of a breaking news that he was anticipated to be the offensive coordinator, and it all seemed well. And as you all know, over the last couple of days or so, there's been a little bit of rumblings of the Southern Miss opportunity that was arising, and could he possibly leave to go to Southern Miss? And for those of you that were kind of missed that, just to kind of give you a quick summary, he coached at Southern Miss. They offered him a head coaching job. There was a little bit of concern because we weren't getting the official announcement. Although we kept talking on our side that we felt confident where things were, but you never know how these things unfold. Again, we still are unsure or confirmed of the clause that was put into place, because what happened when Sumrall hired Faulkner, put a clause in place that if you were to leave, you'd have to pay back like $1.2 million. So Southern Miss would have had to pony up some big time cheddar if they wanted to bring in Buster. What is very ironic is in this announcement just moments ago, Southern Miss announced their head coach. They're promoting a guy within, so they didn't even go with their Hugh Freeze option. They're just sticking with internally. So leads me to believe they're probably waiting for some kind of announcement, because I think Buster was going to be their number one option. And we are ecstatic here at the University of Florida to land Buster Faulkner. I mean, listen, we talk about these things and talk about generational lies. Adding pieces like this isn't going to help my ego at all, right? Or help the ego of the Florida Gator fan base, or helping contain the lies that we want to tell. And again, obviously, we're going to do our due diligence this time. We made that very clear. But this excites us, especially given the fact that this man just won Offensive Player of the Year, or Offensive Coordinator of the Year, in 2025. So you see these things all the time, and it's like, man, why can't Florida get that? Why can't Florida get a piece of that action? And now they're starting to get a piece of that action and be about it. John Sumrall has done a phenomenal job with being here in just, 10 days, I'd say, maybe less, or right around it, with the two hires that he's made thus far. Also, too, we've been talking on this show for the last couple of days. Derek Nix, the running back coach that's currently at Auburn. We talked about it this morning, obviously, with that picture that was flying around. Kudos to Steve Spurrier's Gridiron Grill on Facebook. Facebook seems to have an edge right now, okay, that the rest of us don't have with breaking news. We saw the picture. We saw Derek Nix. We've said it on our show. We feel that Derek Nix has been part of the conversation. Now, it was reported today. It's finally officially out that he was there for 2 days. He did his interview. So with this announcement, I expect some more things to follow. Right? Obviously, we got Troutwine that's in the mix with the offensive line coach. That official announcement for the interview was announced yesterday. Now we've got the official announcement of the running back coach. The positive is I haven't heard any other names, right? So it seems like they have a key, a direct line. Mind you, if we go take a look at that photo from yesterday at Spurrier's, who was at the table, Buster was there, Faulkner was there, Sumrall was there. Who was missing was wide receiver coaches, tight end coaches, and O-line coaches. The reason I say all those things is because I believe Derek has to be involved with it, or at least making positive ground with his interview, given that everyone at that table right now, outside of Derek, is a part of the Florida Gators staff, officially, right? So, again, I'm just putting tea leaves together. I haven't. What we all know is what I knew, that he was part of the conversation. Whether he's taken the job or been offered the job, that part is still unaware. But Buster Faulkner, man, we've talked a lot of great things about him when the initial announcement hired. But just to kind of keep in mind some people he's worked with: Stetson Bennett, Matt Stafford, Carson Beck, some of the quarterbacks, just to name a few. Obviously, was part of that Georgia offense as a quality control analyst during when they went their back-to-back title. He won a Valdosta State Championship in 2007 as a head coach. This young man, why I love this so much, young man, this gentleman here, could have easily taken a head coaching job, more likely at Memphis or Southern Miss. And so we are getting a head coach, quality coach at the coordinator position, which is exceptional, because when you go back and you look over the coordinators of the last couple of years at Florida, there was questions of whether or not those guys could be coordinators at the P4 position. This guy is arguably, possibly has the opportunity to be a Power 4 head coach in a year or two, right? Which just shows you the complete transition that they've made up into this point thus far, them being the Florida Gators and Coach John Sumrall and the hires that they've made. So this is another great staple to what he's done thus far. I'd imagine that this will hopefully align with some of these current offensive players making their final decision with this announcement being made. I think the running back coach will probably tilt some things a certain way. And then the wide receiver coach will be the next one. I'm excited again to see how this O-line goes. I think that might speak some volumes too to the running back and the quarterback room. Again, I don't see the quarterback room moving, but what we've heard from yesterday from Hollywood and DJ Lagway, maybe a name to watch is going to be Tramel Jones. Will Griffin just signed. I don't expect him to go anywhere. And not that I expect Tramel, but it could be something to watch. I hope he stays. I really do. I haven't heard anything, but just thoughts. Also, Tim Tebow spoke about Coach Sumrall and what he thought, and I thought it was a very good clip, hearing old guys talk about it. And I think Tebow's talked a little bit about Napier. I don't recall if he did, if he was this. I know that he was supportive, but some of the comparisons that he makes, I think a lot of you guys are going to be fired up when you hear what he has to say and who he compares Coach Sumrall to. Take a listen.
Reasons to like him before that, but with John Sumrall now doing the two jobs, but whenever this run does end, he'll be taking over your Gators. I told him a few weeks ago when he joined us, he's a football psycho, and I mean that in a positive way. I love his energy. What do you think he could do with the Swamp as they try to bring it back?
I totally agree. That's actually, you framed it in a good way. That is positive. I hope people take it that way. I liked him from afar. I like him more up close. Because I've gotten to talk to him and getting to talk football, getting to talk psychology, getting to talk recruiting, getting to talk culture. All of those things I really like, in getting to know him more and more. And that makes me feel even more confident that he could be the guy to really turn this program back to where it needs to be. He is a football junkie. He loves it. He wants to do it. He's excited about the job. And I just really love his mentality for all those things. Because also one more thing that I think is important to bring up is that when Florida's been its best, they had an edge. Some could call it a little bit of an arrogance and ego with it. Like you look at the Spurrier days in the 90s with Danny and Ike Taylor and Reed L. Anthony and Javon Curse and all these great players. Spurrier had this confidence that some people could say is arrogance, right? That it leads to, and the players played. They knew this is the fun and gun, and we're going to go out there, we're going to play our style, it's our identity, and we're going to rock with it, right? It was an edge he brought. Under Coach Meyer, it was also an edge. Different edge, but it was an edge under mentality. It was an edge under toughness. It was a 4 to 6 seconds of relentless effort and focus that you were going to see. And the deeper the waters got, the more that we knew how to swim, and the more we believed other people, weren't going to be able to swim in deep waters as long, right? Different, but both a form of a confidence and arrogance and an edge that I really believe as teams and individuals playing a game, you need a deep held belief, conviction, and confidence in what you do. I think that that's something that Coach Sumrall in his own way can bring to the program. I think you've seen it in where he's coached, and now can he do it with an even better roster? Because I really believe in that wholeheartedly, that the best have a unique edge and identity that they show up with.
You can catch that full interview on Zach Gelb on YouTube. It's a great interview, about 13 minutes long, him talking about their entire process. But look, I'm excited about his confidence in John Sumrall and the positive things that he had to say and the edge that he brings. And when he talks, I love how, because we keep calling him a psycho. Obviously, we mean it as a term of endearment, right? Clearly, we've expressed that, but obviously psycho has a negative connotation to it, or it can be at times. But when he said junkie, I thought about that for a minute, because I think every coach obviously loves the sport and has to be obsessed with it to some extent. And we're always going to compare it back to Napier, because that's where we come from. That's the last thing that we had. So when I think of Napier, I don't think football junkie, right? I think he's obsessed with the process. I think he's obsessed with having the idea of being a head coach, the idea of running something, but in the sense of obsessed with the X's and O's and just trying to put the best product on the football field. I don't think that he had that. And I don't think everyone has to have it. I think you need to have it on your staff in some facet of the game. And I don't believe that we had anybody. And I think Chapman possesses that a little bit. You can see kind of the crazy eyes that he has and how he carries himself, the finite details of it. And that's what we've always talked about Napier being a great CEO. Can see the overall picture, can see the big things. But I think it's good to have that as a head coach. That is a junkie that loves the game, that is obsessed with it, that wants to just be consumed with it. And I think about it like in a more like day-to-day basis, right? When we talk about these shows, when we talk about recruiting, there are levels to audience, and there's a level to fans of this show. People that just are obsessed with every move that a 4-star high school kid makes, right? We are obsessed with the process and where this team is going to go, and obsessed with every workout. there's some people that are obsessed with it. There's junkies that are involved with it, and even podcasters that take it to another level. Then you have podcasters that are kind of just overview, that do a phenomenal job of the overview, right? And I think that's all that it is. All have a world they can live in. But I think right now Florida Gators need the psychotic football junkie as their head coach. And to be compared to the likes of Urban and Steve Spurrier on, again, you get, it's tough to get into that world, right? People hate it, and I get it, because it's like when you compare a player to Percy or to Tim Tebow, it's like those guys did generational things for Florida. And so when you start comparing the new guy to that guy, it's easy, all right? Easy. But I think somebody like Tim Tebow can make a stance and make a reasonable comparison. Like he worked with one of the GOATs that he's referring to, and so he can see that. He goes, I was coached by one, so I can single-handedly say that, hey, he carries a lot of the same things that I saw off the field that these guys possess, which is a good first step. It's a good first step. That's all you can ask for right now. That's where we're at. We're in December. No football to be played at the very moment. So a lot of great stuff. But awesome news on Buster Faulkner. Great interview on Tim Tebow there. Again, feels kind of repetitive because I felt like we announced this last week, but we were all kind of on standby on whether or not he would be actually the OC. There was a little bit of smoke. A little bit of smoke. We never really panicked here on the show, but smoke to say nonetheless. This show is brought to you by, of course, Kalshi. Be sure to check out Kalshi. It's a fun way to bet on anything, whether it be Grammys, sports, head coaching jobs. Who can be the next head coach for Michigan? You never know. Awesome way to get on the action. Very different from your typical betting site. Kind of like the stock market, like we've talked about all season long. Use the code Hightop to get $10 off your first $100 deposit. Link is in the description. Also, be sure to check out hightopsports.com/shop for all the new merch in regards to Drop the Maybe Cuz, John Sumrall, get you some, all that good stuff. You guys have been pumping it out. Get your the husband and wife some new gear for the holiday season. I appreciate all the support. And we're halfway. We're less than 500 subs away to 30,000. If you're not sub, take a look at the button. Hit it. Do all the good stuff, boys and girls. Y'all be good. Be safe. Peace and love, baby.